Hello. Yep. Hi everyone. Give me a shout in the chat if you can. Yeah, we're streaming right now. We're streaming. Just wanted to make sure. See my little CPU cranking away. My network cranking away. I'll just wait to hear something in the chat. Cool. Howdy. Howdy, howdy. I don't get regular use out of howdy that much. I grew up in Texas, but not the part of Texas where people said howdy, or just I don't know. I don't know how I missed picking up howdy, but it's a good word. Hello, welcome. Welcome. How's everybody doing? I hope you've had a good week. Everybody here in the Bay Area is there's been a lot of ragweed in the air lately, which I'm one of the few folks who are not allergic to that, I guess. So I haven't been having too much trouble, but other people have. So comfort to you if you are a ragweed allergy sufferer. That's my greeting for today. All right, cool. Yeah, let's get down to it. Let's play a random Doom level. Welcome to WAD Wednesday, everybody. Looks like I'm seeing a lot of the usual crowd here. Good to see y'all. Welcome back. I'm going to take the plushy pain elemental here and rub its head for good luck. It's good. We've been through a lot together, the plushy pain elemental and us. Yeah. All right, let's hit begin and get a random level. Oh my gosh, right off the bat, we've got some sweet ASCII art in the README here. Wraith presents Wonderful Doom v1.3. Okay, cool. This is dated 2011. The author is Wraith. And let's see. Wraith has a Russian email address, so maybe this is a Russian modder. 2011 is relatively recent, that's kind of considered the modern era of Doom modding. I just wanted all Doomers to play original Doom one more time. All maps are similar in design and difficulty to their originals, but they are built from scratch. I know they simply look like originals, but they are still better than just modified IDS levels. Okay. Interesting. Is this like an attempt to just remake? Yeah, this has got like episodes 1 through 4, missions 1 through 9. So I don't know, is this yeah, this might just be like a complete Ultimate Doom remake. Well, if we play this, it's probably going to take, I'll play as far into it as I can or want to. But yeah, we might be in for quite a trip here. Cool. This author has also done something called Diffractor. Yeah, I don't know if I recognize this author. Misc author info, Vanilla Lover. Okay, they love Vanilla Doom. Cool. Or maybe they love the flavor vanilla beans and so forth. Okay, let's jump in and play Wonderful Doom by Wraith. Okay, I guess let's just start at E1M1. Yeah, that's my guess as well. A Doom the way it did, but by one mapper. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely. I forget how much like Doom the way it did style stuff we've played before. Like I don't think we've played official Doom the way it did stuff, but certainly we've seen aspects of id style mimicked with new layouts and new configurations and adding on new ideas. So yeah, I guess we'll see what this is like. This is definitely just, I'm always curious with these kinds of things if the authors are like containing themselves to a single map, like in their E1M1 remake. There's no ideas that are present in There's nothing that you see in E1M2 or something. Oh, okay, yeah. So since folks are asking in the chat, Doom the Way It Did was a mod project that people did. I think it was the project started and coordinated on the Doom World forums, as so often happens. And their goal was really to just, was to. It kind of is what it sounds like. They wanted to make new maps closely mimicking the style of the original id maps. Particularly within the styles of given episodes, and in some cases within the styles of specific maps, which isn't, that can be a very kind of unexciting, joyless exercise, but it can also be really interesting, and it kind of feels, it's like a cover version almost, and sort of a relatively progressive cover version where they're really putting some of their own creativity into it. So yeah, that's Doom the Way It Did, and people have, since that project came out and was pretty well received, people have kind of used it in the more general sense of anything that is mimicking id's style, more generally, just any kind of map that's doing that, which of course, there were maps back in 1994 that were doing that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this feels very, there's there's a room in the second major area of E1M1 feels very much like this, only there's this little cut-through window here that's kind of different. We can see into an outdoor area. Oh yeah, and look, there's an outdoor area with a slime feature coming in. Yeah, this seems interesting so far. And then we've got an area, a multi-level area, with a little bay window kind of thing here, and some tech columns, but this time it's 2 staircases and the columns are in the middle. So, that's always a question with these, how radically are you remixing it, how, so yeah. Cool, okay, yeah, somebody's pasting the link to Doom the Way It Did in the chat. Cool. Alright, so yeah, this is a little bit of a secret. And it feels a lot like the E1M1 secret, but you access it at a different... Okay, this feels very, very much like a straight homage. We've got a, slime area with a... Ow! That imp blew up that barrel on me. What a butt. Yeah, so, this is very familiar, only slightly remixed, but in the context of a completely different layout, it's definitely doing some different stuff. So yeah, this will be very familiar to people. Okay. I like that the indoor-outdoor, that your visibility into outdoor areas and stuff is more dramatically presented. I think that's cool. Let's see. Okay, so this is the exit elevator. I'm kind of guessing there's going to be a window out here. Yeah, so there's windows here. So this isn't remotely like what the exit room for E1M1 looked like, but in this case, I think it's cool to give people a view into the outside. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Fun fact, Wonderful Doom came out a year before Doom the Way It Did finished. So yeah, Doom the Way It Did was a multi-year project. Cool. Alright, well, let's move on. That was a competent E1M1 synthesis. Yeah, alright. So now we've got E1M2, and this starting area looks very much like it's using green textures instead of the green starbase paneling textures instead of the tan ones, but that's a minor variation. And in this version, the stairs go down into an area. It's a sunken area rather than raising up. But this cutaway type shape is very familiar. There's multiple areas coming off of here. There's troopers milling around out here. So yeah, this is, it's sticking fairly close to... I would say this is actually a little bit more faithful than what I remember Doom the Way It Did being. Doom the Way It Did had at least one big, we're not going to finish this setback, if I recall. Yeah, I mean, you know, remaking every single level in Doom 1, you know, that's 36 maps, and even if you spread that work up among several people, that's a lot to do. And so yeah, a lot of these projects that coordinate on forums, you know, they go through a twilight of despair, you know, like most big game development projects, frankly. So yeah. Okay, so here we're seeing another, again, like kind of going down where the original one goes up. We've got these lifts that take us down into this symmetrical, loopy kind of area. We're getting a blue key instead of a red key. And yeah. Oh, and look at that. There's some baddies out there, and probably something we can do back in the main area will let us go out into this outdoor area, and there's probably some goodies for it. Yeah. So in E1 in original E1 M2, there's a secret right here that gets you a backpack and lets you hit a switch that opens up the outdoor secret. Obviously, the level designer clearly does not want to be that, you know, straightforward. So, but I do feel like that there probably is a secret somewhere around here. How about this? Yeah. Where could it be? Yeah, it is almost like I think stylistically, because these things are so narrowly focused, that it makes you able to understand and appreciate every single creative decision that they made, because they're deviating. You know, it's like a cover of a very well-known, beloved song, where, like, you know, if somebody is doing a cover of that, you notice every little bit where it's different from the original. You're interpreting it via your intimate knowledge of the original. So yeah, it's definitely like a cover band kind of thing in that respect. What am I missing here? Oh, look at that. Oh, huh. Oh, okay, something, yeah, I think there was... I think there's like something that sinks down here. How about, aha, here we go. Oh, okay, we can stand up on this pillar and maybe hop out? Maybe not. I feel like I tried it and I just, that these windows have completely invisible glass or something, I don't know. Alright, see you around, Arjuna. Have a good one. Hope your internet isn't always a pain. Okay, let's see. Let me hop. Nope. Okay, so I can't. I kind of figured I could just, you know, hop out there, but nope. Well, that's interesting. I wonder what the value of being able to do that is. Maybe it was just that there's a goodie there. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time just trying in vain to get out here. All right, I'm gonna carry on with the level, and maybe we can double back. This definitely is one of my favorite maps from episode 1. So, you know, I'm kind of drinking in all of the details of. Oh, look at that. Is this sort of is this an echo of the chainsaw secret? It is. Is the chainsaw down in a pit, maybe? That would be on theme. What's going on here? I hear something moving. Yeah. Oh. This is kind of interesting and different. This echoes something that's in, well, I guess E1 M6, I would say. Interesting. Yeah, that skylight kind of feature, like this, you know, you tend to notice when something is, you know, more than a little bit architecturally unique. Yeah. Okay, so we get this. That gives us a berserk power-up. That's cool. Cool. Okay, and this just leads us back into here, huh? So maybe this is the way forward? Yeah, I am curious as to whether the maze is going to be on the critical path now, or if it will still be off. Okay, so yeah, this is also familiar. We've got like a zigzaggy walkway over slime, poison, and then we go down like this. Ooh, and what's this? Yeah, I mean, I feel like for a lot of people, you know, it's odd to think in light of modern level design dogma, it's odd to think about it this way, but I think for a lot of people, probably the E1M2 maze was probably like a major defining moment for Doom. You know, I think a lot of people who don't even remember Doom that clearly probably remember something about that maze. Because it's like this fairly atmospheric and distinctive space, you know, it's got that bold lighting stuff. And it's the first point in the game where you can just kind of get lost, you know? And, you know, as I've probably said on here before, I think there's better and worse kinds of getting lost. You know, getting lost isn't always a bad thing, even if, you know, some modern design dogma sort of treats it that way. Because I think if you can get lost and you have a leash on how long you're going to be lost, and you know how to actually move forward, you know, or you're finding something interesting on your little weird detour, I think that's cool. I think that's a positive experience. So let's see here. Yeah, like what? I'm looking at the map here, and I'm trying to figure out how to get into that outdoor area, you know? I feel like it's maybe something like around here, right? Yeah, I mean, that's just that. Yeah. Yeah, and also the maze was scary. You know, that was also the moment that, for a lot of people, that really cemented Doom as a horror game, which is you know, another weird aspect of its lineage. You know, it was an action movie and a horror movie all in one to a lot of people. Okay, yeah, I don't want to spend too much time for this. No, Tom Hall, I don't believe had anything to do with E1M2. It might have like that was all Romero, as far as I know. It's possible that Romero looked at some of Tom Hall's mazier spaces, or was thinking of some of his mazes from Wolfenstein 3D. Tom Hall did some pretty infamous mazes for that, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'm still just like stumped. You know, the secrets in E1M2 are some of my favorite to just, you know, figure out. Let's see, did I open up anything here? No. Dang. Yeah, I just really want to figure out how to go outside here, you know? Because there's probably a chain gun out there, or a soul sphere or something. Ah, well. These things are also a good reminder of, like, just how much I take for granted that I know where every single secret and all that in the original levels are. Because even slightly reconfigured, you actually have to kind of do the player cognitive effort of finding those secrets all over again, and that's a really interesting process to me. Okay, this is definitely a secret. What's this? Where are we going here? Oh, okay, interesting. We're going backstage in the land beyond the green armor. This is cool. Okay, I want a box of rockets. Okay, so, alright, there's just a whole little sequence back there. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, right, like you associate Hall with concrete 90-degree maze spaces, especially some of the E2 and E3 stuff that Peterson finished up. Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I think, yeah, that was definitely something that Tom Hall made a lot of on his time in the project. You know, he was also gunning for that more realistic level design style, like basing things more off of things having the logic of real-world spaces, which obviously a labyrinth isn't that at all, but you know, claustrophobia and a human scale for this stuff, and I don't know, yeah, you know, there are some commonalities. So let's see here. I feel like I missed something back here. Okay, so I hit that switch. That brought the berserk, the little pillar with the berserk down. Is there anywhere here that would have a secret? Maybe not. Yeah, and you really don't want to have to resort to wall humping like this, but no, yeah, finding secrets is tough, you know? Like, yeah, it's a sort of weird little, it's a weird, very specialized form of game playing literacy, you know? Because you're like reading environmental cues, you're picking up on the language, the particular dialect that by which a particular level designer is hiding stuff. Yeah, it's not. Man, okay. Well, I don't want to spend forever with this, but all right. You know, I'm gonna cheat just because I'd rather know than not. Okay, it looks like there is a giant maze here, and it's just off here. So maybe there's a switch that opens this up. Yeah, like... Okay, no, I did go up here. There is something on the other side of this. Oh, okay, alright. Oh, okay. Okay, and now this probably opens up multiple things. Okay, this goes into the maze. This is the amazing maze. Cool. Alright. Okay, some very good armor here. Yeah, nested secrets. Yeah, I don't know if it was, I forget if Romero said that specifically nesting secrets was something that he deliberately wanted to do just to clue the player in that was a thing that could happen in the game. You know, and that's a very very academic way of thinking about it. Nested secrets. I mean, players usually don't experience it in such like a, you know, a constructed way. They're just finding random stuff. But yeah, as a point of formal, you know, level design grammar, I'm curious as to if that was something that he specifically wanted to do in E1M2. All right, so this is all pretty familiar. It's just like, yeah, these right angle U-shaped turns and stuff. Did I poke my head into this little alleyway here? This little dead end? Okay, no, I didn't. Alright, we are just absolutely full up on ammo. Where haven't I been yet? Let's go down and around here. Oh, wait a minute. And let me guess, is this a shoot secret? Yeah, okay. This is that the shoot the wall secret inside of the maze in E1M2 is always the one that, like, every time I'm playing that level and I trigger it, I'm always like, there is no way a normal player would figure this out, you know, would work this out naturally, you know. Oh, okay, and that just loops us back around here. Cool, okay. Yeah, I kind of wish these maps would... offer up the computer map pickup a little more easily. I mean, I haven't seen it yet. Just because when things are that unfamiliar, like, I don't know. You know, it's kind of a bummer. Like, this isn't... I don't know if this is something I would change about the original Doom, but it's kind of a bummer that like the area map pickup is cool because it helps you find all of the it kind of gives away all of the secrets, but it does it for the entire map. So if you have a big map with a lot of secrets in it, it's kind of like it's going from keeping all of its cards close to the vest, so to speak, to just showing you all of them. And it would be kind of cool if you could associate like different map pickups with different parts of the map. You know, kind of like how you gradually unlock the world map in Metroid or something. Because that way you could still have this sense of like directed discovery, and then like once you've gotten far enough into an area, if you find one secret, then you might actually find the map piece that gets you like all of the secrets. So, I don't know, yeah, that's just a thought. Oh, okay, hi Liz. Liz is saying that that Wraith is actually one of the more well-known Russian mappers. Worked on something called the Alpha Accident that's well regarded, and has a map in ALT, which Liz is the foremost proponent of. You know, she wrote an essay on it and did a couple of Doom mixtape videos on it. Okay, so we got the chainsaw here. And this was actually a little less satisfying than the original because, you know, I got into here and there was a switch that lowered it, but it lowered it out of sight, you know. Like in the original E1M2, you hit that switch and the chainsaw is up on a little pedestal and it lowers down here. Or actually, no, I think the switch might be in the same space. But either way, it's like it's right in front of you. You know that there's a chainsaw there, so you immediately want to get there if you're on the other side of this window. Whereas here, I finally found it, and I'm like, oh, right, should there be a chainsaw? Yeah, I guess there is. I don't know, not a huge dig or anything, but okay, so since we've already just cheated here and are just feasting on this map's secrets, let's go find that last secret and get into the outdoor area towards the beginning of the map. Let's see, it looks like it's over here or something. So let's see, is it this? Yeah, it kind of looks like it is, but no, like... Okay, so I go into this from here. Okay, and that opens up. Yeah, that's not super well, like, and I guess this side opens up as well. I mean, that's totally camouflaged. And I feel like there's at least a decent tell for a lot of the more notable Episode 1 secrets. Feel free to disagree there, but yeah. Okay, so there's this horseshoe-shaped secret area, and I'm assuming, right, like that didn't open up anything like it does in the original. But, okay, so it did open up a kind of smaller, harder to notice secret here, and that's how we got out into the outdoor area. Cool. Okay. And yeah, there's still a chain gun. No soul sphere, but that's fine. And yeah, this is a big, extensive outdoor area. Cool. All right, and that is 7 of 8 secrets. Cool. Well, yeah, this is this feels more extensive. It feels like there's a lot more square footage in this map than the original, but who knows? I don't know. I don't have any way of verifying that. Yeah, like sub areas get a little more real estate, it feels like. Okay, so let's carry on towards the end of this. All right, so we're riding a lift up instead of opening a door. In this was that room that, you know, or this is the riff on that room that Romero called out as being like the first room that he made that everybody was really stoked about because it had multiple levels with like different floor and ceiling heights and kind of a dynamic sense to it that, you know, put it a cut above a lot of the more Wolfenstein-y spaces that they had been making before. Okay, cool. So there's like a little feature here. And yeah, okay, so yeah, this is the little exit room, just a tiny little outdoor area here. And in one final stroke in keeping with the go up instead of down and go down instead of up, we ride a lift up into this little alcove with the exit switch here. So yeah. Alright, now we're E1M3. Okay. Cool. Yeah, this is very similar. We come in and there's a horseshoe-shaped area bent around a slime pit that actually this time we can't get into. As cool as it would be to just like have an open view into this, it's also cool to not accidentally fall into that slime with no way to get back up, as happens in the original. Okay, so here we've got a red key door that we can't get through. So this time, I guess we're going right instead of left. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I think this is the stand-in for the E1M3 Soul Sphere on a platform in a secret area that you have no idea how to get into thing. This is a cool view. I mean, nothing can top, in my mind, you know, the Soul Sphere in the dark room secret in E1M3. I guess I like that so much I put it in the trailer for Autobio, but yeah. Okay, yeah, this is all feeling... this actually feels like we're going into the secret area. Like the secret area is the correct path. But I'm guessing that this is actually leading to the red key, and maybe they're going to turn the lights out on us. Oh, it's just like a little... Huh, weird, okay. Just a little sunken area. Alright, so I hit that switch, and I assume that did something back out here. Alright, this is very familiar. We've got like a hallway sneaking through and a little cutaway in the ceiling, creating a cool lighting situation and all that. Alright, yeah, this is all a little different. And it looks like we are meant to go down here. Okay. I like this. This is actually a little more interesting than the elbow that this is based off of in E1M3. Cool. I assume this is leading into a key room. Yes, it is. All right. So the question is, when I grab that key, are the lights going to go out and a door is going to pop open? Absolutely. Yeah, that must be the crux. Like, I've never done a mapping exercise quite like this before. I imagine that one tension is like, you want there to be some surprises, right? But if it's too surprising, then it starts to become just unfamiliar, which is partly defeating the point of the exercise. That's an interesting tension, you know? I mean, I guess that's also, you know, if you're covering or even just performing music that somebody else composed or something. I don't know, yeah. Yeah, how do I get down into there? I gotta get down there. It's just the cool secret. Oh, okay, and there's a soul sphere in this poison room. But this is not actually the original... Yeah, this isn't the starting area. Interesting. So there's a little bit more spatial stack winding that you do in this one. Oh yeah, this is interesting. Cool. Whoa, it's the exit area. Interesting. So here we've got a giant slime pit. And do I hit a switch here to... I'll bet I hit the switch in there to raise up a bridge across it. Okay, yeah, that ended up being very straightforward. There it is. Okay. So yes, this has the exit to the secret level in it. Ooh, look at this. There's a, yeah, the original does have a relatively extensive outdoor area. Let's see, so we go in here and we're past the exit, the door that was originally marked to exit. So this is actually like just a big ol'... Yeah, how do we get out? How do we get out there? Or can I? I mean, there doesn't, you know, there might only just be monsters out there. Let me scroll up in the chat just a little bit. Wraith does that thing where he uses switches to activate elevators instead of activating the elevators directly. Sometimes it feels more dramatic to use an elevator that way. That is interesting. I think it might be an attempt at environmental realism. The only maps I can think of that do it are Russian modders, I think. Russian mappers have a tendency to use Doom as a template for more like realistic style spaces. Yeah, those are very interesting observations. Yeah. Wait a minute. There we go. Oh yeah, now my window and stuff is offset. Let me there we go. Okay, so I don't want to exit just yet. I think I would like to go back and try to find some secrets here. Yeah, it looks like there's multiple ways into this outdoor area. Although it's usually sort of a magical realism. Yeah, no, I think, right. Yeah, I mean, when you have a switch that operates an elevator, yeah, there is just like sort of a more... Yeah, I mean, it's... I think that's still in the realm of Doom's version of realism, which is, of course, not very realistic at all. It's just... it's trying to establish this sense of, like, functional cause and effect, I guess. I don't know, it's always, when you're talking about something as broad as an entire country's mapping community, you know, it's tough to say which... There are some things, I've seen this before in, like, Half-Life mapping communities and stuff like that, where a few people do something and then everybody, like, picks up on how obviously cool it is and just starts, like, copying that, you know? And not in, like, a, you know, I don't say copy in a pejorative sense at all. Yeah, so, like... Oh, so did this open up? And, oh, look at that. Okay. So this lowers, and this lets us into a tech circuity themed secret area. Cool, alright. Yeah, so that's this map's equivalent of the big middle path, that the secret middle path in the starting area of E1M3. Okay, yeah, there's a switch in here. Is it a time-limited switch? Maybe not. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's open it here. And then, oh, okay, and now we can get out into the slime room, which I'm guessing is a dead end. Yes, it is. Cool, alright. Let's see, and now we can go down this way. Yes. Now we're like in the really deep, dark, double secret area. And hey, there's a chain gun. Oh, some water. Some damaging water. What's up with that? That's a... Weird. Okay, so that opens that up. This is completely different and weird. Like, that doesn't have a lot of stylistic similarity to to E1M3 at all, if I recall. Okay, so that opens up there. We've been there before. Interesting. Okay, and that is yet another secret. And there is our... Yeah, there's our blue armor. That's only 6 out of 10 secrets, but I feel like we've kind of seen most of this. Oh, wait, no, there's yeah, Oh, wait, was this one way? Can I not get back out here? Okay. Now we're back here. Okay. Yeah, and so that feels very similar to the side route secret. I guess that does not let you out into the outdoor area, but that's fine. Yeah, I just really felt like that was gonna... Alright, well, I think we've probably just about tapped out all of the cool secret-y goodness here. Oh, look at that. That opened up. And now we have a rocket launcher, which is pretty great. Interesting. So that opened up something out here, maybe? Yes, it did. Okay, so we go out here. And here's the secret exit. Sweet. Yeah, I think I would like it if, I mean, because that E1M1 thing was just like a really, really straight cover. Whereas, yeah, they've been getting progressively more advanced here. Yeah, so let's see if the military base is E1M9, the military base, secret level. So it definitely still has the central square-shaped cage with a bunch of baddies in it. And it kind of looks like, instead of going down from this hub, it looks like we take some stairs up. E1M9 is considered, probably by a lot of folks, to be, you know, one of the more straightforward maps. But, I mean, it also has, like, some fairly tricky secrets, so I don't know. It is a rage cage. Ooh, look at that. Completely dark slime pit secret. Oh, look at that. That okay, yeah, this is kind of like the outdoor diagonal between quadrants secret in E1M9. Yeah, I think out of all the episode 1 levels, E1M9, when I forget when it was, but on the Doom World forums when they had a bracket for all all id Doom maps, I think E1M9 like was disqualified before most of the other episode 1 maps. I mean, I just remember back in the day being pretty pumped just to have found a secret level, you know, because I knew that they existed from... I knew that I had reason to believe that they would exist from Wolfenstein, from having played Wolfenstein 3D. Okay, so yeah, this is outdoor area. April Agitation, yeah. And yeah, I forget who it was that did the write-ups of all of the levels, but those were really good. It might have been Linguissa. But yeah, I love those little, you know, bios essentially for each map. Excellent bit of Doom scholarship. Cool. So yeah, this is definitely a familiar feature here, where we've got like a little semi-screen here leading to a protected area that you can that has something you obviously want. Wow, I have no keys yet. Excuse me. Yeah, even M1 feels more partitioned by its key colors, you know, because you start off and you're in this hub, and you can access any of the 3 doors for the most part at once. I don't know if I've run into a red key door yet, but yeah, and so the map feels open, and yet there are the map feels more open than, say, the last one, where there was just like a later section of the level that we needed to get the key before we could even access. Whereas here, it's like, yeah, you can actually, from the hub, you can go a lot of places, but you'll start running into these key doors, and then that makes you want to go hunting for them. So you sort of fall into this navigation strategy of being like, I'm going to just, anytime I see a door that isn't color key locked, I'm just going to take that, you know. So yeah, like much like the first game, much like the original version of this. We can find doors of all 3 key types without getting any of the other keys first, which I think is a, you know, somewhat unique attribute among a lot of the id maps. Have I run down here yet? Okay. Back spot here. Yeah, this definitely does feel like it sprawls out more. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just gonna like fling myself off this ledge here and get the key that way. But okay, and we've got a little closet trap, monster storage unit. Monster, you store it. Oh yes, Terrananic. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what date that was. It was probably like a couple of months ago at this point. All of my YouTube uploads I do have the names of the levels, and a link to download in the video description. But yeah, okay. So we've got a blue key now, and now we can go. We've seen a lot more yellow key doors than anything. One thing about Doom the way id did, just as a general mapping practice, not the specific project, is that the practice didn't necessarily come around until a good couple of decades after Doom's release, you know? I find that kind of interesting, you know, because when I think of, you know, 1994 maps and 1995 maps, it's people were very much trying to do their own thing, you know, like they wanted to develop their own style. And, you know, and just try out a bunch of weird stuff because it was sort of exhilarating to just even have access to the tools. So I guess, you know, years later was the point at which people were like, okay, a lot of us are established mappers, we've developed our own style. So now it's actually kind of fun. It's an interesting exercise to try to deconstruct the styles of the id maps. So it's kind of, you know, and I think that's a pretty natural order to do things in, you know, like when you're a beginning creator, you do kind of want to, I mean, I don't know, I think people do vary on this. Some people are very happy to just immediately jump in and start cloning stuff and whatever. But I think a lot of people want to they want to put their own individuality on it. You know, that's maybe a big part of the reason that they're even doing something, is to just be able to, you know, self-expression. I think that's a very understandable drive. But then once you've kind of gotten over the novelty of self-expression and you just kind of take that as a given, that's maybe when you start saying, okay, let me learn about people whose work I admire, like how they develop their style. Let me put myself in their position and try to think like they were thinking, as a way of understanding my own process deeper. You know, I think that's what's, and I think even players get that, you know, when they're playing something like this. Oh, okay, so cool. It's a teleporter ambush. I believe it was the first one that was developed for the game. I don't know if Sandy made one in one of his maps first, or if Romero doing it in this map was the first one in the timeline of Doom's development. But yeah, cool. All right, so I think, yeah, I now have all the keys, and I can probably just head to the red key door. This map does a little better job of like showing you all the major... I mean, it lets you wander a lot more, which isn't necessarily good, but I definitely feel like I've seen every area. I've had a reason to go to every major area of the map before I could actually get to it. I'm just trying to pop that barrel. Okay, so this is interesting. This isn't quite like... It actually feels a little bit like the raised area in E1M4. And yeah, I guess this is the exit. And there is one secret we didn't get, but I don't know, I don't care. Alright, that was E1M1. Liz is recommending in the chat something called dance.wad if you want something that can actually be described as weird outsider art. That sounds awesome. Dance.wad. I will totally check it out. Okay, so this is E1M4. How are we doing for time here? Alright, cool. Alright, so there is not a secret before the a little secret cabinet with a backpack in it before the first door. That's fine. It'd be a little too... be a little too on the nose. Big open foyer type area. Ooh, I like this view. This is a cool view of a familiar-ish area. Let's go back to... Yeah, this is... So, yeah, this is mimicking that octagonal feature, but I actually like this. I like that it feels pretty heavy, and it's got these big things feeding into it. It feels a little more architecturally connected to the rest of the space, and I dig that. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let me do that now, actually. Like, someone is suggesting that let's jump ahead to an episode 2 map, because, yeah, let's jump ahead. I don't know, does anybody have any requests for episode 2? I'm going to say episode 2 M4, E2M4, just because it's an old favorite. And yeah, I really want to see, like, seeing how people interpret the design sensibility of episode 1 can be interesting. E2M4, episode 2 and 3 though, is a lot weirder, you know, and I feel like it's a little bit more of a Rorschach blot. Different people are going to have very different takes on what the heck it was doing, you know. So yeah. What's the, there was another, was it No End in Sight that Zazer and a few other mappers maybe released that it also definitely did some id-styled things, if I recall. I definitely enjoyed some of the episode 2 flourishes in that. That's something that I played, I don't know, in the past year or two or something, and remembered enjoying. Okay, so this is actually just feeling very... This is hewing pretty closely to E2M4. It's almost like a different, like the same ingredients, but in a different layout. Yeah, this is all super, super familiar. Oh, right, I pistol started, so this might kind of suck. Alright. Oh, I see. I can't get up into that? No, I can, yeah. But maybe this doesn't... I believe this does include a an episode 4, so yeah. Yeah, maybe we can play that. Yeah, E4M1. That's another that is a pretty interesting one to riff on, because it's just a tightly packed knot of difficulty. Okay, yeah, this is just so. Yeah, I'm not feeling this necessarily because it's just so. It just feels really, really beholden. It's barely any different. Yeah, let's boot up E4M1. Oh wait, no. E4M1. Okay. Okay. Also, I'm probably going to die trying to play this map, because the original is not a very kind map. Okay. Yeah, I like that. This is actually cool. I like that you start in the middle of this map, effectively. And then, you know, we've got these archways. We've got that red room that's almost certainly full of barons. A little blood secret here. Blood secret. Okay, oh, where does this go? Okay, this takes us up to here. That's cool. Some more goodies up here. And you kind of want to get everything you can grab here, because I wonder if this also has the original's ammo scarcity. That's another thing that gets pretty rough about this. Yellow key. Let's get out of here before it gets hairy. Ow. Dang it. Dang it. Okay, this is cool. Alright, so yeah, I think I'm getting a feel for this. Yeah, and this deviates a little more than the last one did. Does anybody else have anything that they want to... any other map request to jump to? If it's episode 4 and I pistol start, then I may well die, but... Ah, yeah, and it's got a similar kind of... I'm guessing that the exit is in there, maybe? Would be a little different. No, actually. Oh, something popped open. That was actually kind of cool. Yeah, this is solid. Ooh, yeah. I do want to see. I do want to see this WAD's E3M6. That is another fave. And is this the end? It is. E3M6. Yeah, and then maybe we can go to... Ooh, okay. Big ol' outdoor area. I like that there's a little starting elevator here. Like maybe I was taking an elevator up from deep underground and then... Boop! Welcome to Mount Erebus. Okay, yeah, this is really... This is almost identical, it's just kind of flipped. Yeah, and then we jump down into here. Yeah, so as we're getting to the end of this stream, I kind of feel like I've found myself regularly hoping that the author, wishing that the author would go just a little further afield or mix things up a little bit more, like have a riff on. Yeah, like this is basically identical. Great. I got all the jerks after me. Yes, and Fire Blue definitely does. Gotta love that junk. Yeah, like every time... these maps all do have little surprises in them, but... you know, when the overall progression feels the same, it's like I kind of know what to expect, and at the point that I know what to expect, that takes away some of the fun of playing a mix-up of this. Yeah. Yeah, I do love how Fire Blue completely jacks video compression codecs. I wonder if the next generation of video codecs, like when we're all, I forget, AV1 or something, if they'll be able to handle Fire Blue, if that nut will finally be cracked. Yeah, who knows? Okay, yeah, let's open up E2M8. Multiple co-op player starts here. Oh, and yeah, there's some dinguses here. Yeah, I like the idea of Fire Blue being sent back in time to 1993 to mess with streamers for some reason. I don't know. Okay, this actually has a lot more monsters in it than the original E2M8, and I'm kind of guessing that the Cyber Demon is up on this higher plateau here. Having more monsters in the mix, I think, is cool. You know, I think this probably would have been totally overwhelming, you know, for a player back in '93. But what's this? Oh, is it building like a little spiral staircase kind of thing? That's nifty. And I'm guessing when we get to the top of this, we will confront Old Sibes. Where are you? Where are you, buddy? Grab this, and then that. Okay, and then that lowers it, and so now we've actually got a lot of There's just a ton of cacos here for the Cyber Demon to infight. I don't. Oh, and then it walls us in. So that whole outside area. This is cool, actually. Yeah, like this is a decent mix. This is a good mix-up. This yeah. A little surprising. Didn't know what was coming. Cool. Just hates those cacos. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Yeah. Woo! And yeah, there's not so many enemies that you can be sure that he's tied up forever. I kind of wish more of the monsters had leaked into this boss arena. You know, this I would say is actually something where the mapper is applying a lot of, you know, because I feel like in the 90s and even in the 2000s, a bunch of games had bad boss fights. I might have worked on a relatively well-known one. And everybody kind of like, I feel like designers as a class became a little better about avoiding certain kinds of bad boss level practices, and I feel like this map is definitely putting it together in that sense. Yeah, like, because that was a cool map. The way that like had a lead in, and it felt kind of big and overwhelming, and then you did some intentional stuff, and then you got into the boss arena, and it was like, okay, now it's on. Cool. Deimos floats above hell itself. Cool, and there it is. Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good. Yeah, we've been going for a bit, so yeah, I think I'll probably call it there. But yeah, this was cool. Like, this definitely was. Just go ahead and wait. Yeah. Cool. So that was Wonderful Doom by Wraith. Yeah, 2011. This was neat. You know, particularly if this came out before Doom the way it did. I feel like this, you know, this was like a very competent synthesis of a bunch of things. I think in cases where, you know, I was getting kind of bored, it was like, okay, this is like just a close approximation of the original area, but maybe like the entrances and exits are moved, you know. It's sort of superficial, not superficial, but like, you know, the layout differences, like the connectivity map has changed a little bit, but otherwise, you know, the texturing and the progression feel really similar. Whereas the stuff that mixed it up a little, you know, was exciting. I think that's one of the things that people play these Doom the way it did type things, is to get something familiar but also a little bit exciting. I mean, there's sort of like a negative phrasing of that you can use to describe like a lot of what's depressing about game development, you know, as an industry, sort of, because, you know, there's like that whole novelty thing where it's like, give us exactly the same stuff that we've seen before. You know, people criticized like Star Wars episode like The Force Awakens for this, where it's like, yeah, it just feels like everything feels pretty similar, but it's kind of, you know, it's sort of just been kind of moved around. And yeah, like I'm sensitive to that critique. You know, there's also just sort of the question of like, well, how much do I just enjoy this at face value? If I can put aside that it is like closely riffing on stuff, you know, what unique qualities does this have? What decisions did they have to kind of stick their neck out for? And yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, like it's a tightrope, you know. And there are some types of things where, you know, like I've played, I forget what it was called. It wasn't Super Metroid Remix. It was a remix of Super Metroid's world map. And even though it felt very similar, I still enjoyed playing it a lot, because just replaying Super Metroid with things slightly different, such that I had to like refigure out where the secrets were and where the critical path was, that alone was enough for me. I was like, yes, I just want to eat more of this delicious meal. Whereas for other stuff, it's like, no, I'm just real tired of it. So I don't know. That's yeah, that's kind of my take on. I think when the synthesis is done really well, and this is what I remember of the no end in sight stuff, is that it did have its own identity, but it was almost like referencing. It's like, okay, yeah, this is like a completely different thing, but it's in, it's mimicking a style. Like, oh yeah, this sounds like 70s prog rock or 80s, early 80s like hip hop, but it's doing its own thing, and it's retro, but it has an identity that's driving all of the decisions. So I don't know. Yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Yeah. So yeah, if you go and I'll put the link for this. If y'all do play any of these other levels and find some real gems or something that's like really weird, or just made some interesting choices, then yeah, let me know in like the comments or something. But yeah, that's about all I got for today. But yeah, cool. Well, yeah, thank you for joining me as always. It's been fun. And yeah, maybe I'm hoping next time, now that we've gotten like our reverence to the past thoroughly out of the way here, I want something like really strange and different next time. So I don't know, maybe for WAD Wednesday, September 19th, we'll get something just completely mind-blowing. I don't know, here's hoping. Okay, well yeah, have a good one, folks, and I'll see you next time.